Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, and welcome to you, and yes, you. It's Dr. Nick, and I am waiting for you all to come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Yes, it is time. I see you coming in. Hi, Roro. Hello. You know we always start off by hitting that share button. Hi, Deacon Hawks. Hello, Monique Green. We always start off by hitting that share button. So, you know, while you're sharing, I'm sharing too. So let's just take a moment to share, okay? This is going to be awesome tonight. I'm so excited. So if I seem a little giddy, a little bubbly, don't mind me. I'm just a bit excited. So I'm going to be sharing live, and I ask that you take a moment and you share live as well. We're going to have a great time. Hi, Pebbles. How are you? Hello. If you guys can just take a moment and hit that share button. As I mentioned, I am going to be sharing. Thank you for those of you who are already sharing. I see you sharing. I appreciate you sharing. And as I mentioned, I'm sharing too. So thank you, and thank you again. I want to welcome you and tell you that we're going to have a great time of learning as we are on this journey tonight. So just give me a moment while I share and you share as well. It's going to be a great night tonight. I'm already expecting some great things and some great revelations, not just for you, but also for myself as well. Okay, so let's get excited. Let's get tuned in. Hi, Mom. How are you? Thank you so much for coming on in tonight. Hi, Deacon Hawks. God bless you. I hope that you are doing well. Hi, Kiva. Hi, guys. It's so great to have you on tonight, and I hope that you've had a wonderful day. I've had a busy day, but I was thinking about you guys all day because I knew we were going to be able to come together and be together tonight. So we're just going to wait. Love you too. We're just going to wait. Yay, you made it. Thank you. I know you guys are busy, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to connect with me tonight. So once again, go ahead and hit those share buttons, and I am sharing as well to my pages, and I hope that you do as well. Share as well. Once again, this is Dr. Nick, and I welcome you to our brand new series. As you know, we are in a new series entitled Playing Against My Greatest Opponents. So last night we did an introduction, and it went really well. I was really excited about it. I received so much positive feedback. All the way even up until right before we began, I was still receiving positive feedback. So I really am really blessed to know that I have an opportunity to be a blessing. If you have an opportunity right now, can you comment to someone above you or below you and just say, hi, how are you? You're beautiful. Give them a compliment, something like that, so that we are all in here connected together. Hello, Yolanda. Hello, beautiful. We are all in here connected. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Thank you so much. We're all in this place, as we used to say as kids, we're all in the places with sunshiny faces. Once again, this is Dr. Nick. You are tuned in tonight to part 1 of our new series, Playing Against My Greatest Opponents. I see you guys sharing some love. Thank you guys for sharing love. Thank you. Hi, Shakira. Hi. Hello. Good. I'm so happy to see you guys showing love to each other. You know, the song says what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. So I believe that too. And in these days and time, we need to share and give as much love as we possibly can because it's needed. It's needed. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I see you sharing the love. Thank you. And thank you again. Make sure I turn down my other phones. Hi, James Bettis. Yes, for the men who are joining in tonight. I'm so happy to see you guys. Thank you for joining in as well. We're going to have a great time tonight. I'm just setting up all my devices so nothing gets crazy. I have my poodles nicely tucked into their room, and hopefully we won't hear them barking. But if we do, we're just going to ignore them, okay? So let's go ahead and jump in. Once again, welcome to the brand new series, our series. I don't call it my series. I call it our series because this is for us. As you know, I never share anything with you all that does not speak to me first. Hi, Alexis. Hi, my baby. It does not speak to me first. Oh, Monique Green says, thanks for this fellowship positive feed. We need it. We need it. It's so much going on in this world. We need the positive feed. We need this positive love. We need positivity. So thank you guys for showing love to each other. So the topic tonight is playing against my big heart. This is part 1 of the series, Playing Against My Greatest Opponents. So if you missed last night, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of where this was birthed. I was watching on Instagram an interview with Serena Williams, and she was being interviewed, and the interviewer was asking her about the opponent that she played against. And the interviewer was saying to her, you know, the opponent is strong, she's fast, she's witty, she's great. And Serena Williams was saying, yes, you know, we all know Serena Williams, a tennis player, Black Girl Magic. She's beautiful. She has a wonderful body. Her physique is strong. She's an awesome tennis player, her and her sister Venus. She's just amazing, filled with greatness. But when she was giving this interview, the interviewer was asking her, you know, how was it to play against this opponent? And Serena Williams said nothing to take against the opponent, although she's great and she's good and she was a great opponent to play against. I was playing against a greater opponent. And what she said was, I was playing against the opponent of my migraine. What she was saying is that she had a bigger and a greater opponent internally than the opponent that was outside of her. I'm going to say that again. There was a greater and a bigger opponent internally than the opponent that was in front of her. And that opponent was her migraine. And God spoke to me in that moment and let me know the opponents that we're fighting against. We often think we're fighting against other people and places and things on the outside. But the reality is there are greater opponents that we are fighting against. And these opponents are on the inside of us. And so this series could go on for a long time, but I'm only going to touch on 3 topics that the Lord really brought to my heart. And the first one is playing against the opponent of my big heart. Now, I didn't say the opponent of my heart. I mean the opponent of my big heart. Now, many of you have heard people say, oh, this person has a big heart, that person has a big heart. Now, when I say big heart, I don't mean big heart physically, because there are some people who have an actual physical enlarged heart. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a big heart, a heart to love, a heart to give compassion, a heart to understand, a heart to rescue, a heart to understand and show compassion and courage and to go after and help others more than you have helped yourself. Now, let's pause for a minute. Has anyone ever said to you, you have a big heart? And if that's you, just type that in. I do have a big heart. If that's you, type that in. I do have a big heart. Okay? Type that in. And I'm going to give you some examples of what a big heart is. I've done some research, and these are some examples of what attributes of people who have a big heart. Number 1, you know you have a big heart when you bend over backwards without hesitation. If anyone asks you for a favor, you don't just do that one thing. You do 10 things. Hey, Pastor Timothy Simpson, you don't just do that one thing, you do 10 things. You know you have a big heart if you give so much more than you ever get back. Yet, you don't just give 100%, you give 110% of your heart and your soul, because that's just who you are. It's not showing off. It's not that you try to be better than anyone else. It's just who you are. You know you have a big heart if you absolutely can't stand to be on bad terms with people that you know you should not be on bad terms with people. So for example, if you know that you and a certain person should never have been on bad terms, you really can't rest well until that situation gets ironed out. This is not an enemy, but this is someone that you know, I really don't like to be on bad terms with this person. I see James Bettis says, I have a big heart. Alexa says, I agree. Shakira says, always putting everybody first. Okay, I'm in the right place tonight. You know you have a big heart if you're always the first to apologize 99% of the time. Even if it's not your fault, you still will apologize. Somebody said, that's me. All right, Pastor Simpson. You know that you have a big heart if you cannot imagine hurting anyone as badly as others have hurt you. Ooh, that's a good one. You know you have a big heart if you cannot imagine, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, if you cannot imagine hurting anyone as badly as others have hurt you. Ashlyn said, OMG, same. Yes, Ashlyn. You know that you have a big heart if you are the friend that everyone comes to when they need advice or a shoulder to cry on. You know you have a big heart if you're the go-to person. You know that you have a big heart if you open your heart and open your arms and are always ready to embrace other people's troubles. Always ready to embrace other people's challenges and problems. Is that you? Is that anybody? Somebody said that's me. Okay. You know that you have a big heart if you are a good listener and you genuinely want the best for everyone around you. Not just your people, but you want to see everyone do well. And people feel safe around you and they feel like you won't judge them. Is that anyone? You know you have a big heart if people feel safe around you and they know that being with you is a non-judgment zone. All right. Okay. Somebody says, wow, didn't know you're going to be talking about me tonight. All right. I'm in the right place. Yes. You know that you have a big heart if you are the friend that everyone is incredibly lucky or they feel blessed to have you. And not only that, you know you have a big heart if you're often taken for granted. I'm going to say that again. You know you have a great heart if you are the friend that everyone feels blessed to have, lucky to have. And however, you are often taken for granted. Someone said, Ashton said, sign up to carry someone's whole emotional baggage. Yes. You know, I'm almost done with this portion. You know that no matter how badly someone has hurt you or how distant you have become, you will always be there for them no matter what. So no matter how much time has gone by, no matter how distant they became, no matter whatever fell off, whether it was your fault or not, you know that no matter what, if they call you, you're going to be there. And guess what? They know you're going to be there too. You know you have a big heart if you go out of your way to make sure that no one feels unloved around you, that no one around you feels underappreciated, that no one around you feels like they're not worthy. Why? Because you've been in their shoes before. Ooh, I'm going to say that again. You know you have a big heart if you go out of your way to make sure that no one around you ever feels unloved or unappreciated. You do this because you know that you have been in their shoes before. Hey, Farah. And you know that you have a big heart. Once you care about someone, you always will. You may not ever connect with that person. You may not ever reconnect with that person again. But once that person is in your heart, you care about that person and you always will. No matter what they did to you, no matter how they played you out, no matter how they betrayed you, even if they walked out or hurt you, you always will care about that person. So tonight we are talking about playing against my big heart. And tonight I want to tell you this before we go any further. Having a big heart is a beautiful thing. So in all of these things that we're talking about tonight, keep this at the forefront of your mind. Having a big heart, having all of these positive attributes, it is a beautiful thing. It is nothing ugly or tainted. There is nothing cross or unbecoming of having a big heart. So to you, and yes, you who are watching now or who may watch the replay, I applaud you for having a big heart. I say God bless you for having a big heart. I say you are changing lives because you have a big heart. I say that there are people who are still alive because of your big heart. I say there are people who got many passes because of your big heart. I say that there are many people's families who have been able to survive because of your big heart. I say there are many people's bills that were able to be paid because of your big heart. I say that there are many people who were rescued because of your big heart. So don't ever allow anyone to make you feel like there is something wrong or something negative about having a big heart. You are one of the few in this world that make people feel like they can keep on living just because of you. Now, I want to talk about this also. Having a big heart is beautiful. But it's beautiful to a fault. And this is why. Because having a big heart is a blessing. It is awesome to share your heart. But having a big heart can also leave your heart in shambles. Oh, anybody been there? Having a big heart can also leave your heart broken. Having a big heart can also leave you out on your own. Tonight, as we are on this journey together, and as we are talking about having a big heart and about playing against the opponent of our big heart, I want to help us to understand that we must be two things for our big heart. We must be a supporter of our big heart, and we must be a protector of our big heart. And maybe you might not be able to take notes now, but you can come back and watch the replay. Two things. We must be a supporter of our big heart, and we must be a protector of our big heart. So I want to say this. Having a big heart does not mean that you have to build a wall around your heart. Just because you are a supporter of your heart and a protector of your heart does not mean that you have to build a wall around your heart. Just because you are a supporter of your heart and a protector of your heart does not mean you have to put an ice box where your heart is. But what it means is that you have to understand that this heart of yours needs your support. And this heart of yours needs your protection. And although this heart is inside of you, you're going to have to look after that big heart of yours. You know why? Because the people who are recipients of your big heart, people who are recipients of your love, people who are recipients of your serving and your rescuing, these people very rarely understand that they need to support you and they need to love on you back. And we're going to talk about that. So understand this. Having a big heart came one or two ways. One, you were either born that way. Some people were born having a big heart. Some of you were born having a big heart. And then the second part is some of you became a person with a big heart. I'm going to say that again. Some of you were born with a big heart, and then some of you became a person with a big heart. So if you were born with a big heart, that's just how you were born. That's just how you were wired. That's how God made you from birth. But then there were some of us, and I'm going to speak about myself, there are some of us who became a person with a big heart. We did not always have a big heart. As a matter of fact, if there's someone besides me that can say, we used to have this big wall around our heart. We used to have an ice box where our heart was. We used to be evil sometimes, and we used to feel like, jaded sometimes. We were not always the kindest person, but we grew into having a big heart because of life's experiences. We grew into having a big heart because of what we went through in our lives. We grew into having a big heart because of what we experienced, what we saw, what we dealt with, and what we felt. We understand what it means to have a need, to have someone love on you and not have that. We know what it means need someone to rescue you, and there's no one there to rescue you. We know what it means to need to have someone to stand with us, and there's no one to stand with us. We know what it means to have someone to say, I know what you're going through, and there's no one there to say that. We know what it means to want someone just to say, I understand you and I don't judge you, and it's okay for you to feel this way. We know what it means to have someone to need someone or to want someone to rescue us, to scream out or to holler and have someone there, and there's no one there. So what has happened is we have grown into someone with a big heart because we know what it feels like to need someone there and they're just not there. Or we know what it feels like to need a big heart, to have someone standing right next to you who can rescue you, but they refuse to rescue you. To have someone there right next to you who should have your back, but they don't have your back. To have someone there who you always rescue, but they don't rescue you. I'm going to give a little story here. I wrote this in my note as story time. So a few years ago, and all of us have lots of stories. A few years ago, I was going through a situation and I was out in public. It was, I was out in public around people, and there were maybe about 7 or 8 people around. But there were 3 people around who I considered myself close with. And as I was going through a verbal altercation with someone, the 3 people who I was close with, they just sat there and watched. Now, I'm not saying I expected them to jump in, to start fighting. I'm not saying I expected them to say, oh, you don't talk to Dr. Nick like that. I expected them to say something because the person who was getting in my face was 100% wrong. And these people who I consider myself close to, they just sat back and they watched the whole thing. Like people who walk by and watch a fight and they just record it. They just sat back and they watched the whole thing. They never said a word. I sat there and I battled that situation all by myself with 3 people who I thought I was close with, who just sat back and they watched it. And when it was over, they never even said anything except, wow, that's messed up. They never said anything. So those of us who have a big heart, a lot of this growth of our big hearts grew because we understand what it feels like and the pain of knowing that someone could help you, and knowing that someone has the capacity to help you, and knowing that someone should love you enough, you think, to help you, and they sit back and they just watch and they don't open their mouths. It's not like you can't stand up for yourself. It's not like you can't speak for yourself, but you feel like if you love me like I love you, I would have done it for you. Yes, I know it wasn't you, Kiva. So what am I saying tonight? Tonight, I want to help us to understand, in order for us to be okay with having a big heart and not allowing anyone or anything to change our heart, there are some key points we're going to have to accept and some key points we're going to have to realize. I have 5 key points I want to share with you tonight, okay? The first one is this. We must understand that everyone is not built like us. I'm going to say it again. We must understand that everyone is not built like us. No matter how much we love them, no matter how long we've been around them, no matter how smart and intelligent we think they are, no matter how much capacity we think they should have, everyone is not built like you. Everyone is not structured like you. Everyone does not love like you. Everyone does not have the DNA that you have. Everyone has not been through the experiences that you have been through. And moreoverly, everyone does not have within them what God deposited within you. So we have to understand this. We must understand that everyone is not built like us. And when we understand this, it will help us to support and protect our big heart and not be be let down because we have these great expectations for other people, which they cannot fulfill because they are not who we are. And it's frustrating, I get it, because we look at people and say, how come you don't love me like I love you? How come you don't fight for me like I would fight for you? How come you don't go all out for me like I will go out for you? How come, hey, Butch Tweedle, how come you don't see my pain and I saw your pain before you even opened up your mouth? How come people can come to you and talk about me, but they could never come to me and talk about you? Everyone is not built like you. And when we understand this, it will help us to understand that we can remove these expectations off of people and be able to be in a position where we are able to protect our hearts, support our heart, and maintain our big heart without feeling like I better put this wall up because I expected more from you. You let me down. You betrayed me. You walked out on me. No, they're just not built like you. And when you understand that, that can help you. That's key point number 1. Key point number 2, everyone does not have the capacity to give, understand, or even hold what we give. I'm going to say that again. Everyone does not have the capacity to give like you give, to understand like you understand, or to even hold what you give like you hold what others give. So, everyone, let me give you an example. Here's my bottle of water, right? And this bottle of water can only hold water or liquid up to here. Anything that goes above this is beyond this bottle of water's capacity. And there are some people that you keep trying to pour into, and I keep trying to pour into, but they don't have the capacity to receive anymore. But we keep getting frustrated because we keep pouring and pouring and pouring and hoping that they will get it. And all they can accept is what's coming up to here. Anything else, they just won't get it. You'll turn blue on your face. You'll spend all your money. You'll exhaust all your resources. You will drive yourself crazy. We will drive ourselves crazy because we are trying to keep filling them up and filling them up and filling them up. And they only have the capacity of this. They can't hold it. They cannot receive it anymore. And we're like, I'm trying to give you as much love as I have. How come you don't understand? Because they don't have the capacity to understand. And once we realize this can I just say it like I feel it? They ain't gonna never get it. For real? Real talk. I know I have a doctorate degree, I'm an educator, but let's just talk for real. They ain't gonna never get it. You can talk for them 10 hours a day. You can write them a note. You can send a smoke signal. You can get an airplane to drive and fly with a big old sign. They're never going to get it because they don't have the capacity to get it. They don't have the capacity to get it. And because they don't have the capacity to get it, it stops at a certain point. You heard it before, the elevator only goes so far. And for some of us, we're trying to break the ceiling and get the elevator to keep going higher and higher. But honey, that elevator is only going to go up so far because that's all the capacity they have. They never had it, and probably they never will have it. And once we realize that, we can stop breaking our own hearts because there are some people who just cannot receive what we're trying to give. And can I be real honest? You know it. They showed you. They told you. Your mama showed you. Your mama told you. Your best friend told you. Your kids told you. Your enemies told you. But you keep feeling like, I can love on them some more. I can just show them another way. I can pray them through. But there are just some people that the capacity is what the capacity is. They cannot hold it. And there are some people who will never understand your love. There are some people who will never understand your love. Can I help you? There's some people who will never understand your love and the way you love because they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to because these are not your people. Ooh, can I say that again? They're not supposed to understand the totality of your greatness. Why? Because they're not supposed to be in your life in that capacity. And this is why they keep disappointing you. And this is why they keep breaking your heart and frustrating you and making you angry. And I'm not just talking about boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. I'm not talking about just that. I'm talking about family members. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about co-workers. I'm talking about neighbors. I'm talking about people in general. There's some people who just won't get it. No matter how much you keep trying to get it, it's like bumping up against a wall. They're on the other side of it, but they can't see how much you're going crazy over here. You bumping up against the wall. You driving yourself crazy, and they on the other side of the wall chilling. They don't get it. They never will get it. Why? Because those not your people. They're not supposed to get it. They don't appreciate who you are because they're not supposed to be in your world. They were seasonal. They were supposed to come in for a moment. They were not supposed to stay. For some people, their expiration date in your life has expired, and you keep drinking stale milk. You keep eating old cheese. You keep consuming molded meat, figuratively speaking. Their expiration date has come and gone, and we keep trying to blow life back into it. Pump on their chest and blow life into them and pump on their chest. Come on, you can make it. We take the shockers and try to shock them on their side to shock them back to reality. It doesn't matter. They're not going to get it. There were some people who were supposed to come into your life just for a season to serve a purpose. And when their purpose has been served, it's time for them to go. And what happens is they go, but our big old heart says stay. They're trying to leave. They even told us they're not supposed to be there. But we keep trying to hold on to them. It's not going to work. They cannot reciprocate what we give. You know why? Because they're not supposed to reciprocate what we give. It was a season, and you have to be okay with understanding when a person's season is up. You may cry, you may scream, and sometimes, this is a side note, can I park here? Sometimes we don't keep people in our lives just because we just can't live without them. It's because we're used to them being there. It's our comfort zone. Like, we know they're not good for us, not just a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I'm talking about people in general, family, friends, whoever. We know that they're not good for us, but we're just so used to them being there that we feel like, I just got to have you here because I'm just so used to you being here. I don't like you. As a matter of fact, I can't even stand you, but I love you. You keep disrespecting me. You keep betraying me, but you know what? I'm used to you texting me every morning. I'm used to you being here when I eat dinner. I'm used to you being here when I watch whatever I watch on TV. I'm used to you being here. And the fact of the matter is, you're going to have to get uncomfortable to get that thorn out of your life. And some of us are not growing. Our big heart is stopping us. And I didn't even have this in my notes. And I got lots of notes here. Some of us, our big heart is stunting our growth because we just feel like I just have to have this person here because they've always been here. The season is over. Allow it to end. Next, key point number 3. I only have 5 points. Key point number 3. This is long, so listen. Though we have a big heart and we love to love and we love to give and we love to care for others and we love to rescue, we must realize when it's time to pull back. I'm going to read it again. Though we have a big heart and we love to love, we love to give, we love to care for people, we love to rescue people, we must know when it's time to pull back. You're a lover. You love to love. Loving people makes you happy. Again, I'm not just talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. I'm talking about people in general because you have a big heart. And people with a big heart like to see people happy. They like to rescue people. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about us. We like to rescue people. We like to serve others. We like to help others. We want to make them laugh. We will tell all the jokes. We will go out of our way. We will pay the bill so they can be happy. We will be the one sitting outside the emergency room. We will be the one sending flowers. We will be the one who is always there for other people. But we have to realize at some point, we got to know when it's time to pull back. We have to understand that we have a big heart, but sometimes loving them may be hurting you. Now, I'm not talking about loving them from a distance. I'm talking about that upfront and personal, they in your life and they're in your space every day. You have to understand when loving them is hurting you, you have to pull back. When helping them is depleting you, you have to pull back. When you are thinking about them more than you are thinking about yourself, you have to pull back. When you are paying for things for them more than you even paying your own bills, you have to pull back. When their lives and their struggles and their problems begin to spill over into your own life, and you can't even handle or deal with your own problems, your own issues, and your own struggles because you're so busy with the big S on your chest, when the weight of their world becomes your weight, when their trash becomes your trash, when their tears become your tears, when you can't even get a clear thought through, you have to know, I love you, but I got to pull back. When you can't focus because you love them so much and it's still not working out for you, you got to know, I got to pull back. When you can't find peace anymore and you are a genuinely happy person, when you walk in the room, people feel happy and better because you arrived. Now, let's just toot our own horn for a minute. Go ahead and type that in and say, that's me. When you walk in the room, people are happy because you're there. They see your smile and they're happy because you smile. They feel your energy and they're happy because your energy and your spirit changed the room. They're happy because you're there. Something that you said made them feel good. The way you walked in the room, not like you were arrogant, but you walked in like, I'm ready to give all kinds of love today. There are some people who want that from you. But when you can't even change your own environment, okay, I'm seeing those, that's me. Alexa said, that's me. Deacon Hawk said, that's me. Shakira, I'm sorry, I'm tearing your name up. Sister Jones said, that's me. Roro said, that's me. Monique Green said, that's me. Ashlyn said, beep, beep. Farah said, that's me. Juanisha said, that's me. El Vintage said, that's me. My mom said, I hope that's me. Yeah, that's you. Xavier said, that's me. That's just who you are. They're just happy because you are there. You bring that energy. Chrissy said, that's me. Yeah, that's you. And guess what? It's a wonderful thing. But, when other people's issues and the people you're trying to rescue take that spirit and that energy away from you because all you can think about, Bright Sunshine said, that's me. With a name like that, that's got to be you. Hey, brother Julian said, that's him. When the people in your life that you love so much with your big old heart take away from you being able to be happy and you having peace and your energy being able to help restore other people's happiness, you got to know when it's time to pull back. And when it's stunting your growth and you see that you are in a holding pattern, you're not growing, you're not expanding, you're just existing because you and your big heart are trying to save everybody. You're trying to rescue this person that don't want to be rescued. You're trying to love on somebody who don't want to be loved. Or you're trying to give to someone who could never appreciate what you're giving. And now they are experiencing the fruit of your love. But now you don't even know who you are anymore. You have loved so hard and so deeply and they're feeling all happy. They're not missing a wink of sleep at night. They go to sleep and they're not even thinking about being stressed out about you. And you stressed out all night. You crying all night. People look at you and wonder what is wrong with you because your big heart got you into a situation. And you got to know, wait. I got to pull back. Number 4, you have to know that having a big heart is a blessing. And you have to know that you cannot allow your big heart your blessing of a big heart to become a curse in your life. I'm going to say it again. You have a big heart and it's a blessing, but you cannot allow your blessing to become your curse. I'm going to say it again. You cannot allow your blessing. I'm going to say it probably 5 more times. I need us to get it. I'm talking to myself too. Hey, Nick, you hear yourself? Yeah, girl, I hear you. You cannot allow your big, beautiful blessing of a heart to become a curse. You cannot allow your beautiful heart to become your curse. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to become your curse. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to become your own demise. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to become your breakdown. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to become what allows you to fall off. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to become what makes you become a non-factor. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to allow you to become someone who is negative. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to make you uglier, to make you negative, to make you speechless, to make you cold-hearted, to make you frustrated, and to change your disposition. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to become your curse. You cannot allow your heart to become something that you despise. You cannot allow your big, beautiful heart to become something that you hate. God blessed you with a beautiful heart, but what you accept and the people you allow to keep treating you however they treat you, you wonder why you now hate your heart. You can't allow that, because guess what? The people who are accepting our love, they're not going to say, wait, think you're giving me too much love. I don't deserve that kind of love. I don't deserve that kind of appreciation. They're not going to say, you know what? I did you so wrong, but you know what? I don't deserve for you to keep taking me back. They're not going to say, oh, I don't deserve for you to keep paying my bills. They're not going to say, oh, I don't deserve for you to have sleepless nights. They're not going to say, oh, you cried over me again. Let me take a day off of work and come hold you. They're not going to say that. You know why? Because as I mentioned, they don't have the capacity to understand what you are doing. So this is why we must protect and cover and support our heart. These are the things you got to pay attention to. You have to pay attention to what you allow in your heart. You just can't just say, I'm happy. I got a big heart. Let's just live. Pay attention. That's like just walking out the door, not looking left to the right. We've been told this many a times since we were babies. Look both ways before you cross the street. Pay attention. Don't just live willy-nilly. We got to pay attention to what's going on inside of our heart. That means you got to stop for a minute and be like, yo, what's going on in there? You just can't just be like, okay, well, I'm good. You know, I got a good heart and I'm good. Pay attention. Somebody type that in the comments. Pay attention. Pay attention. Next, you must pay attention to how you allow your heart to dictate your life. You must pay attention to how you allow your heart to dictate your life. If your heart is making you spiral out of control, if your heart is making you spiral down instead of growing and advancing and enhancing, if your life is doing all of those things, if your heart is doing all those things, you must be able to stop for a minute and be like, something's wrong. This is not going the right way. You have to be able to pay attention to how your heart is dictating your life. If your heart is allowing you to become derailed, disheveled, your heart is making you frustrated, angry, you wonder why you can't get a clear thought through, now you mad, you can't focus, you looking at somebody saying to them, you got me going through changes. No, they don't have you going through changes. You got yourself going through changes. You can't say to them, oh, you stressing me out. No, you're stressing yourself out. You're not going to say to them, oh, you frustrating me. No, you're frustrating yourself. So you have to pay attention to what your heart is doing and how your heart is dictating what's going on around you. And you have to pay attention to what feeds your heart and what drains your heart. What feeds your heart? If it's feeding your heart, awesome, wonderful. if it's feeding you, and if it's allowing you to grow, and if you're manifesting into who God has called you to be, that is absolutely wonderful. But if what you allow in your heart is starting to drain you, and you know you feel drained, when you're emotionally drained, you feel physically drained. And that is your responsibility to pay attention to what is feeding you and what is draining you. My last key point, and I'm out of here. This is key point number 5, as we are talking about playing against my big heart. Key point number 5. Here we go. Remember that your heart is inside your body and it belongs to you first. Remember, your heart is inside your body. It belongs to you first. Of course, there are many people who want your heart. It belongs to you first. There are many people who love your love, but guess what? It belongs to you first. There are many people who would love for you to keep on giving, but guess what? Your heart belongs to you first. There are many people who would love you to keep rescuing them. Rescue them in the morning, rescue them in the afternoon, or rescue them at night. And guess what? You better get up the next day and do it again. You got to realize this heart of yours, it's inside of your body. And you have a responsibility. You owe it to yourself to say, this is my heart. And I know that God has called me to be a lover. And I know that I am a wonderful person and I'm a caring person and I would like to do what I can for other people. But this heart belongs to me. And I will not cut myself open and watch myself bleed to death just so you can have my heart and you have peace and sit back and watch me bleed out and die. That's figuratively speaking. But some of us with these big hearts, we have cut ourselves down the middle and we just keep on giving. You want my heart? What else you want? You want a lung? You want my kidneys? What else you want? You want my blood too? Like, what else do you want? And many of us, we just love like that. And again, it's not a negative thing. I applaud you for being such a great lover. It's because of people like you that this world is not as horrible as it could be. But understand this. This is your heart. And you have to protect it. You have to cover it. And sometimes you have to restore it. Many of you have had brokenness in your heart. And guess what? Many of us are still living with brokenness because that's what we've learned and that's what we know. But it's time for us to recover our hearts. It's time for us to allow our hearts to be healed. It's time for us to allow our hearts to be restored. Because guess what? The people that we keep giving all our love to, they don't even know that we're hurt like we are. Many times, because they just know that we are having learned behavior, we just keep going. We take a licking and we just keep on taking. That's what they see us do. They know our pattern. We're going to be mad. We're going to cry. Then we're going to get over it. Then what else you want from me? You want something else today? Is there something else I can do for you today? Can I save you once again? Oh, you're not mad anymore? Sure. Come rescue me again. No. It's time for you to rescue your heart. You know why? Because there's a reason why God gave you that big heart. And he did not give you that big heart to allow other people to stomp it out, to allow people to kick it out, and to allow people not to appreciate it. This beautiful gift inside of you, God gave it to you. You got to support it, you got to protect it, and you got to restore it. So these are the last things I want to say to you. I wrote it down. Yes, love. Yes, be love. Yes, serve like God taught you to serve. Yes, rescue people like God taught you to rescue people. Yes, show care and show love and show compassion. But don't ever lose yourself. Don't allow anyone or anything to change your heart from being loving to being hateful. Don't give your whole life away just because you have a beautiful heart. I'm going to say that again. Don't give your whole life away just because you have a beautiful heart. That's the message tonight. Playing against my big heart. It's because of you that many people are still surviving today. still living and still alive. Still protect your heart, cover your heart, restore your heart, and know that having a beautiful heart is a beautiful thing. I'm going to end on this note right here. When I was in high school, and I've told this story before, I think I was in 9th grade and we had just moved from Wisconsin. There was a girl who walked up to me and she said to me, "You think you're so cute. You're a B." You know, the B word. And then she slapped me in my face. We were taught, you don't fight. You don't fight. If someone bothers you, you tell the teacher. Because if you fight, you come home, you got to deal with us. So I called my dad, and my dad came in. He picked me up from the high school, and I was crying. And I remember walking through the garage, and I said, "Daddy, I just don't understand. Why did she say that to me? Why do people treat me like this?" He said, "You're a great person, Nikki, and don't allow anybody to ever turn you into who they are. You cannot make someone love like you and care like you." At that point, I thought what he said made absolutely no sense. I thought maybe he'd give me a pass to go to school and fight the next day and possibly get suspended. I didn't get that. But what he said was, don't ever allow anyone in the way that they treat you to change your heart. I close tonight. Your heart is beautiful. And don't ever allow anyone or any situation to change your beautiful big heart. God bless you all. I hope that you enjoyed part 1 of the series, Playing Against My Greatest Opponents. When you go to sleep tonight, I want you to say, "Dear God," when you say your prayers, "thank you for my beautiful heart." If you have not shared yet, I ask that you please share. Just hit that share button so that someone else can be a recipient of this message and that someone else can be able to stand up just a little bit taller and say, "I may not have all the money in the world. I may not dot every I and I may not cross every T. I may have flaws beyond flaws that I would like to have. But guess what? God blessed me with a beautiful heart." Good night, guys. I love you. Keep that beautiful heart beating.